The morning light spills softly through the window. A kettle hums in the background, slow and steady. Outside, birds begin their quiet chatter, unaware of time. Inside, an old armchair waits, worn but familiar. An elderly man sits down, his movements careful, almost tender. He lifts his hand to reach for a cup, but pauses halfway. A small stiffness travels from his shoulder to his neck. It's nothing sharp, just a quiet reminder of the years. He smiles faintly, remembering the days when motion felt endless. Now every reach, every lift, feels like a small conversation. His body answers slower, but it still listens. He takes a breath, slow and deep, like the morning itself. There's no rush anymore, no race to win. Only the rhythm of breath, the gentle hum of living. He rolls his shoulders back carefully, feeling the warmth return. A simple stretch, almost invisible, yet full of meaning. In that quiet moment, movement becomes gratitude. The world feels softer, lighter, kinder. Sometimes, healing begins not with effort, but with awareness. And today, his story begins with one slow shoulder stretch. The shoulder is a quiet storyteller. It remembers every reach, every wave, every embrace. It carries memories tucked inside small movements. Each gesture we make leaves a soft trace in the body. When we are young, the shoulder feels like air, light, limitless. We lift, we turn, we stretch, never thinking twice. But time changes the rhythm of how we move. The joints grow quieter, the muscles more cautious. The once-free rotation becomes slower, more deliberate. It's not weakness, it's wisdom shaped by living. Years of carrying bags, lifting grandchildren, writing, working. Each moment builds a story written in the muscles. And one day, the body starts whispering in a new language. A small stiffness when reaching for the top shelf. A twinge when pulling on a sweater. A hesitation before waving across the street. It's the body's way of asking for attention, not pity. It says, I need you to notice me again. The shoulder, after all, is not just a joint. It's a bridge between the heart and the world. We hug with it. We express with it. We lift, protect, and comfort with it. But as we age, this bridge can lose its flexibility. Posture changes, habits settle in, and motion becomes restricted. Sometimes it's from sitting too long. Sometimes from doing too much, too quickly. The modern world doesn't always honor slow movement. We rush from one task to another, forgetting the body's pace. Yet the body never forgets. It keeps score in tension, in stillness, and the quiet ache at night. Older adults often describe the same feeling. A shoulder that feels stuck, or a neck that feels tight. It's not pain that shouts, but discomfort that lingers. And that's where awareness becomes medicine. When we slow down, when we listen, something shifts. The body begins to respond with a kind of relief. A sigh through the muscles, a breath through the bones. Gentle movement invites circulation back into the forgotten corners. It tells the tissues, you are safe to move again. That's the heart of this story, rediscovering motion safely. Not through force, but through connection. Because the shoulder doesn't just want to move. It wants to trust movement again. To trust that motion can happen without pain. To trust that aging does not mean stillness. For older adults, that trust begins with gentleness. The kind that listens, not commands. The kind that feels each breath as part of the stretch. Imagine lifting your arm slowly, without rush. Feeling the warmth spread gently across the shoulder blade. It's not about how far you move, but how kindly you move. That kindness builds strength, quietly day after day. Over time, the shoulder learns new patterns. Freedom returns not as youth, but as grace. And with that grace comes something deeper, confidence. A belief that your body, even now, can still open. That every gentle motion, is a small act of courage, because every shoulder holds a lifetime of stories, and in each slow stretch, a new one begins. The world moves fast, almost too fast to follow. We rush through days, ticking boxes, chasing time. But the body does not live in minutes or deadlines. It lives in rhythm, in breath, in quiet awareness. The shoulders especially understand this truth. They tighten when life speeds up, even when the mind says nothing. Each hurried moment leaves a mark, a silent weight. And slowly, the shoulders forget how to rest. That is why the slow philosophy matters so deeply. To move slowly is not to be lazy or weak. It is to honor the body's natural pace, its language of patience. When we stretch slowly, we learn to listen again. The muscles speak in whispers, not shouts. They tell us where fear hides, where tension lives. A slow movement gives space for the body to respond. It gives space for breath to meet motion. It invites peace where strain once ruled. Imagine turning your arm gently, feeling the skin glide. No rush, no pushing, only curiosity. That's the wisdom of slowness, to move with attention, not ambition. Because slowness changes everything. It changes how the nervous system reacts. It calms the storm that rushes through tired joints. It reminds the brain that movement can be safe. And in that safety, mobility blossoms again. Older adults often rediscover movement through slowness. They find that gentle rhythm brings trust back into the body. 1 inch at a time, one breath at a time. Each motion becomes a quiet conversation of care. The shoulder, once guarded, begins to open. Not because of strength, but because of softness. The soft approach heals where pressure never could. It's like speaking kindly to someone who's been silent too long. The body listens when it feels respected. When the hands move slowly, the mind settles too. You begin to notice small details, the warmth in your arms, the tiny release in your upper back, the moment the stiffness softens into flow. This is not just physical. It's emotional, even spiritual. To move slowly is to reclaim presence. To say, I am here, and I am listening to myself. The slow philosophy is not about doing less. It's about doing what matters with full attention. In a slow shoulder stretch, every breath counts. Each pause holds meaning. The silence between movements becomes a form of meditation. And through that, the body learns a new story, one of patience. Patience becomes strength. Gentleness becomes power. When we slow down, the world doesn't stop. But it starts to align with our natural rhythm again. We start to feel movement not as effort, but as harmony. The shoulders, once tense, now breathe freely. They remember what it feels like to trust motion again. And in that moment, slowness is not a delay, it's healing. Because sometimes the most powerful movement is the one that takes its time. Before any movement begins, there is a quiet moment. A space between thought and action, where intention forms. That's where preparation lives, not in the body but in awareness. Before stretching, we prepare the space and, more importantly, the mind. The room doesn't need to be large or perfect. It only needs a little light, a little calm, a place where breath can be heard. Sometimes it's a corner near the window. Sometimes it's the edge of the bed before sunrise. What matters most is presence, being fully here right now. The body feels the difference between distraction and attention. So take a breath, deep and slow. Feel the air travel through your chest, your ribs, your shoulders. Exhale gently, like a soft release of all that no longer serves. That single breath can change everything. Because it tells your body, we are safe, we are ready. Now feel your feet touch the ground. The connection is simple, yet grounding. The earth beneath reminds you that you are supported. Your spine lengthens naturally as you rise into awareness. The shoulders rest gently, not forced, not pulled. You can sit or stand, or even lean on a wall. There are no rules, only comfort and balance. In this moment, movement begins in stillness. It's not about doing, it's about being. The preparation is like greeting an old friend, gentle, familiar. You notice small things, the rhythm of your breath, the quiet sound of air moving through your nose, the way your chest rises, your belly expands. Each breath becomes a reminder that life flows through you. Now bring your attention to your shoulders. Don't move yet, just notice. Are they tight, heavy, or maybe just tired from holding too much? Sometimes we don't realize how much tension we carry. We wear it like invisible armor, day after day. But awareness begins to melt that armor away. The simple act of noticing invites release. Imagine your shoulders softening with each breath, the weight sliding off slowly, like sand leaving your skin. There's no rush, no goal. Only a gentle surrender to the present moment. You might feel warmth spreading across the upper back. That's the body responding to attention, not effort. This is the quiet before the stretch, the pause before the wave. It's where mindfulness meets movement. Preparing the mind this way transforms the experience. It turns an ordinary stretch into a dialogue with yourself. Each inhale asks, "Can I open a little more?" Each exhale answers, "Yes, but with kindness." The body listens when the mind speaks softly. And through this calm, a deeper readiness forms. Because real preparation isn't about perfect form or position. It's about the connection between awareness and action. When the space feels peaceful and the breath feels easy, that's when the body whispers, "Now we can begin." Now the journey begins, one slow motion at a time. The air feels calm, the body awake, the mind listening. You sit tall or stand steady, feet grounded like roots in the earth. Take a breath in, deep and soft, filling the chest with warmth. Exhale slowly, letting the shoulders fall like melting snow. This is your space, your rhythm, your quiet practice. Lift your shoulders gently toward your ears, just a few inches. Hold the breath for a heartbeat, then release. Let them drop naturally, without control, without effort. Feel the difference between holding and letting go. Repeat again, lifting slowly, then lowering even slower. The shoulders remember this movement, ancient and simple. Now roll them forward, one smooth circle at a time. Let the motion flow like ripples in still water. Each circle clears away a layer of tightness, a memory of tension. The breath follows the motion. Inhale as you rise, exhale as you fall. Keep the pace steady, gentle, unhurried. Then roll them backward, revering the current. Feel how the muscles stretch and open behind the shoulder blades. The chest expands slightly, as if the heart had more room to breathe. Every small circle is an act of care, a quiet form of gratitude. Now place your fingertips lightly on your shoulders. The elbows point out, like soft wings preparing to move. Begin to draw small circles in the air with your elbows. Move slowly, as if tracing the shape of calm itself. Each rotation wakes the forgotten spaces beneath the collarbone. You may hear a tiny crackle, feel a soft pull, that's life returning. The shoulders are talking again, in their own quiet language. Let the motion grow a little larger if it feels right. But never force, this is a dance, not a battle. The older body thrives on kindness, not pressure. Every movement should feel like a conversation, not a command. If there's pain, pause. If there's warmth, breathe into it. The body knows when to move and when to rest. All you have to do is listen. Now release your arms gently by your sides. Let them hang loose, fingers soft, shoulders relaxed. Notice the weight of gravity pulling you back to the earth. Notice how your breath feels deeper, your posture lighter. This is the reward of slow intention, quiet but powerful. You have just spoken to your body in the language of care. This simple sequence, done daily, rewrites how the shoulders behave. It reawakens the tissues that forgot what freedom felt like. It teaches the nervous system that motion can be safe again. It's not about flexibility or strength, it's about trust. Trust that your body still remembers how to move with ease. Trust that healing happens one gentle breath at a time. In the end, it's not the stretch that matters most. It's the tenderness with which you move through it. Because when you stretch slowly, you tell your body a beautiful truth. You say you are cared for, you are enough, you can move again. The movement slows to stillness, but something inside keeps flowing. You can feel it, a quiet pulse of warmth beneath the skin. The shoulders that once felt heavy now seem lighter, more alive. It's not dramatic, not sudden, but gentle and real. Like a slow sunrise spreading light across the body. You sit there breathing softly, feeling the rhythm return. Each inhale deepens the calm. Each exhale releases old tension. The muscles are no longer resisting, they're listening. It's strange how something so small can change how you feel. A few slow circles, a few mindful breaths, yet everything shifts. The body begins to trust again, to move without fear. And in that trust, you rediscover something precious: flow. Flow is not about perfection or performance. It's about harmony between body and breath. It's when effort fades and awareness takes its place. Older adults often describe this moment with one simple word: ease. Ease in the joints, ease in the heart, ease in simply being. The stiffness doesn't vanish overnight, but it softens. Each gentle stretch teaches your body the art of release. You begin to move not because you must, but because it feels good. That's the quiet victory hidden inside slow motion. The body starts to hum again, like an instrument retuned. The shoulders, once tense, now carry grace instead of weight. You can lift your arms higher, reach wider, breathe deeper. Every motion feels like an invitation to stay present. It's not about exercise anymore. It's a form of gratitude. Gratitude for what your body can still do, even now. Gratitude for the patience that brought you here. When you move with care, your body responds with kindness. It rewards you in small, quiet ways. A better night's sleep. A softer posture when you sit. A new lightness when you reach for a cup or open a door. These are not small things. They are signs of life returning. And beyond the physical, something deeper stirs. Your breath feels more connected to your emotions. Your thoughts move slower, calmer, more balanced. You start to notice how the mind and body are not separate. They dance together, each guiding the other toward peace. You realize that the shoulder stretch was never just a stretch. It was a way to return home, to yourself. The gentle rhythm of motion becomes a daily ritual. A few minutes each morning to remember who you are beneath the noise. This awareness carries into the rest of your day. You move differently now, with intention, not habit. Even walking feels smoother, lighter, more deliberate. The body is learning to move like water again. Unhurried, flowing, alive. And maybe, for the first time in a long while, you smile without effort. Because movement no longer feels like work, it feels like freedom. You found the flow hidden inside stillness. And in that flow, your shoulders whisper their quiet thanks. They remind you that healing is not a race, but a rhythm. A rhythm you can return to any time, one breath at a time. There's a woman named May who starts her morning slowly. She's 72, gentle in voice, firm in spirit. Her days used to begin with a sigh, a quiet ache in her shoulders. Reaching for her teapot once felt like climbing a small hill. Every movement carried a whisper of effort, a memory of strain. But one morning, she decided to try something new, something soft. Not an exercise class, not a routine, just a few quiet stretches. She told herself, I'll move for 1 minute, that's all. The first motion was hesitant, almost unsure. Her arms trembled slightly as she rolled her shoulders. The sound of her breath filled the silence of the room. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't painful either, just honest. That honesty became her ritual, her conversation with her body. Day by day, 1 minute became 2, then 5. And something subtle began to shift. The shoulders started to respond with less resistance. The stiffness softened, the warmth stayed longer. Each morning, she felt a little more freedom in her joints. It wasn't about flexibility anymore, it was about connection. She realized that movement was never meant to be rushed. It was meant to be felt, understood, respected. May began to notice other things too. Her mood lifted with each stretch. Her breathing slowed, her thoughts became clearer. The morning tea tasted better after a slow shoulder roll. Her body was remembering how to feel alive again. And in those small victories, she found a new kind of strength. Not the strength of muscles, but of patience and care. She often said, "I used to think growing old meant stopping. Now I know it means learning how to move differently." That's the beauty of gentle motion. It teaches you to adapt, to find grace in limitation, to find peace in persistence. The slow shoulder stretch became her meditation. Some days she moved easily, other days she simply breathed. But she always showed up, always listened. Because the practice wasn't about doing it right. It was about being kind to herself, over and over again. And kindness, she found, was the best form of strength. Her friends noticed too how her posture changed, how her shoulders sat higher, her walk more open. They asked her secret, expecting some special therapy. She smiled and said, "Just slow stretches and a cup of tea." The simplicity made them laugh, but it was true. The magic wasn't in the movement itself, but in the way she did it. With patience, with attention, with love. Her story reminds us that it's never too late to begin. That the body, no matter its age, still listens when treated gently. That healing doesn't come from force, but from understanding. Every small, mindful motion is a quiet act of renewal. So wherever you are, take a moment and breathe. Lift your shoulders slowly, as if greeting the morning. Let them fall back down with ease, without worry. That's how freedom begins, softly, patiently, like May. Because every gentle stretch is a way of saying, "I am still here." The room grows quiet again, the breath steady and soft. The shoulders rest, open and calm, no longer guarded. Outside, the morning has turned bright, the world awake. But inside, everything feels slower, more peaceful, more alive. You've moved gently, breathed deeply, listened closely. And in those few moments, something inside has shifted. The body feels lighter, the mind calmer, the heart more present. This is not the end of a stretch, it's the beginning of awareness. A reminder that movement is a form of gratitude. Every breath, every slow motion says, "Thank you, body." Age does not steal mobility, forgetting kindness does. When you move with patience, life moves with you. You don't have to rush to heal, you only have to begin. A minute of care today becomes freedom tomorrow. So carry this softness with you through the day. Let each step, each reach, each breath be a quiet celebration. Your body is still listening, still capable, still yours. And as you close this moment, remember one gentle truth. Healing doesn't happen in speed, it happens in stillness. And every slow shoulder stretch is a promise to keep moving with grace.